This is a special report from pacesforcongress.org. Over the next several minutes, we are going to present the facts and discuss the misconceptions about security on the Mexican border. And we are going to explain how key lawmakers in the U.S. Congress and federal government are intentionally misleading the public in order to pass comprehensive immigration reform. Hundreds of miles of the Mexican border remain wide open to drug trafficking, wide open to weapons smuggling, wide open to illegal immigration, wide open to environmental damage, wide open to infiltration by illegal alien gangs and terrorists. So what is Congress doing about our open borders? In 2006, Congress, by an overwhelming majority, passed the Secure Fence Act, authorizing 854 miles of border fencing on the most heavily trafficked sections of the Mexican border. And on October 26, 2006, President George Bush signed the Secure Fence Act into law.
This bill will help protect the American people. This bill will make our borders more secure.
To learn more about the Secure Fence Act and to understand why Congress and the President authorized construction of security fencing along the Mexican border, we need to go to the border between San Diego, California, and Tijuana, Mexico. In 1996, following years of rampant cross-border crime and illegal immigration, a security fence was erected between San Diego and Tijuana. The San Diego border fence is actually made up of two separate fences, a smaller vehicle barrier and a larger 15-foot-high climb-proof fence. In this photo of the San Diego border fence, the vehicle barrier is in the foreground and the larger climb-proof fence is in the background, seen here behind the patrol vehicle. Between the two fences is a no-man's land, consisting of an access road and infrastructure for lighting and sensors. The San Diego border fence has effectively ended illegal immigration and drug trafficking crossing from Tijuana into the United States. According to the Congressional Research Office, the San Diego border fence has reduced illegal immigration crossing from Tijuana into San Diego by 95%. The fence has also reduced crime in San Diego by 53% as a direct result of stopping illegal immigration and drug trafficking. The relatively low cost of the two-layer fence, coupled with its ability to virtually end illegal immigration, convinced the 109th Congress to enact the Secure Fence Act and extend the San Diego border fence across parts of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. But in the months following the enactment of the Secure Fence Act, the Department of Homeland Security failed to build even 1 mile of this two-layer fence. And despite promises by the Bush administration to build the fence, few believe that any part of the two-layer border fence will be built by the 2008 deadline, as mandated by the Secure Fence Act. President Bush, along with leading members of Congress, including Senators Edward Kennedy and John McCain, have pledged to permanently eliminate hundreds of miles of the two-layer border fence that has worked so well for San Diego. As part of comprehensive immigration reform, Senators Kennedy and McCain want to replace most of the two-layer border fence with these vehicle barriers. The Kennedy-McCain Border Security Plan, if enacted, will replace much of their proposed two-layer fence with 3-foot-high vehicle barriers, and open border advocates in Congress, like Kennedy and McCain, have gone to great lengths to convince the public that these 3-foot-high poles will deter drug traffickers, illegal aliens, and terrorists from unlawfully entering the United States. But what do drug traffickers and illegal aliens really think of vehicle barriers? It's obvious from these photographs that vehicle barriers cannot stop human traffic. Illegal aliens and drug traffickers simply pass through the poles to meet waiting vehicles on the U.S. side of the barrier. And amazingly, vehicle barriers can't even stop Mexican smugglers from driving straight into the United States directly over the barriers. The following is a news report from News 10 TV in San Diego on just how easy it is for smugglers to drive over vehicle barriers.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Taylor.
And I'm Marty Levine. It is another example of the brazen tactics used to smuggle drugs. Border Patrol agents seized more than 900 pounds of marijuana, a truck, ramps, you'll see why, just 2 miles east of Campo. Here's Tony Shin with more.
Well, Marty, agents say the drug smugglers were using the ramps to cross over the border fence and drive right into the U.S. A Border Patrol agent spotted this Nissan truck heading westbound on State Route 94. It looked suspicious, so the agent began following it. At the time, that agent had no idea The truck was carrying more than 900 pounds of marijuana.
The vehicle suddenly turned around, went back eastbound on the highway, Highway 94, and turned south on one of the dirt roads headed for the border.
The driver and passenger eventually ditched the truck and ran across the border into Mexico. That's when the agent discovered this: 2 vehicle ramps connecting the U.S. and Mexico, and about 20 people who are trying to take it apart.
The people all fled back into Mexico. One person, as they were fleeing, drew a sidearm and aimed it in a threatening manner towards our agent. The agent took cover. No shots were fired. Everybody went back into Mexico.
Agents say drug smugglers built these ramps so this truck could easily bring drugs into the U.S. from Mexico. They also say they have found ramps before, but these are unique.
These people were quite sophisticated. The quality of the ramps was very high. It was set up so that they could erect it, brush out tracks of the vehicle that came across, get the vehicle over, and take the ramps back down and be gone in just a matter of minutes.
And Border Patrol agents say they called Mexican authorities and told them about the drugs and the ramps, but agents say they never showed up at the scene. Marty?
The Kennedy-McCain Comprehensive Immigration Plan eliminates hundreds of miles of the 2-layer border fence and replaces much of the 2-layer border fence with vehicle barriers, which are virtually useless in securing the southern border. Leading proponents of comprehensive immigration reform, including George Bush, have intentionally misled the public into believing that vehicle barriers are effective deterrents to drug trafficking and illegal immigration. Our safety and national security deserve more than 3-foot-high vehicle barriers. Pesos for Congress encourages you to contact your representatives and tell them to build the 854 miles of 2-layer border fence as authorized by the 2006 Secure Fence Act. This has been a special report on border security by pesosforcongress.org.
Visit pesosforcongress.org. Learn more about illegal immigration, border security, and cross-border crime. Watch videos, read the latest news, and voice your opposition to illegal immigration. Visit Pesos for Congress and find out how you can make a difference.